Hello, hi everyone. Can share screen. The screen is coming, right? Can see the screen.
Yes, we can see the screen.
Yeah, okay. Right. So, I had already shared the project brief earlier as well, but still, for this presentation, I'll just read a short brief. So, Children of the Snowy Peak is a visual exploration of Zongo through its mythical landscapes and contemporary ecology. The project will explore the folk stories of the Lepcha community and their relationship to the natural world, juxtaposing it with the present ecological crisis brought about by the higher projects and climate change and the safety sub movement, which has been active for almost 2 decades. So in this project, I'm basically exploring with the questions of and playing around with the questions of myth, identity, spiritualism, uh, connection of the people with the land, uh, symbolism basically with the nature. So all those things I'm trying to create images in that kind of narrative. Um, First, I'll just share a process like how I was going through this past few months. So I was basically based in Zongu, and there are like a lot of villages which I had covered, uh, particularly Lingthem. There's a village called Lingthem. There's a village called Pentong, Yikatan, and there are few clusters of villages nearby. So this is Lincoln, where I was also staying in this place. So I was basically also scouting for certain areas which I can scouting areas and trying to find certain landscapes, certain objects, certain trees or forests which can be photographed according to what I had thought the photos would be looking like at the end of when I started with the project. So I was basically scouting certain areas. So this is one of the sacred trees uh, in a Lincoln village. So this is Lingza Waterfalls. It's also a touristic place, but I was also trying to see if I can photograph in a certain way uh, that can work for the project. This is Tingbong, village called Tingbong. So this is altar space, and the Mount Kanchenjunga is basically is facing towards the altar. So it's mostly for praying to the deities. The most of the deities are Mount Kanchenjunga, and there are a lot of foot soldiers of Mount Kanchenjunga, which are smaller mountain tops near to the Mount Kanchenjunga. So all those mountains are worshipped and called upon during certain rituals to ask for their blessings and protection, and also not to harm them. Basically, if you do something wrong, so there's a sense of fear and love and respect towards the environment. So I was trying to see how can I photograph that as well. So I'll just quickly go through this. So I was trying to find certain elements in nature, something like this, which looks eerie or which looks a little bit otherworldly. Maybe I can photograph in a certain way, and make it visually appealing or something like that. I was trying to search for it. So that's on the way to Zongo. That's the current road condition. A lot of construction is happening right now because of the flood which happened last year. These are totems hung on the tree. I'll show you the photograph, better photograph later. So the totems are basically from their farms, and which are offered to the mountains during rituals. So in this, I was trying to photograph the tree at night, uh, trying to see. But this is just a phone photograph. So this is another village called Pentong. So Pentong is again quite far from Lintham. So it's inside Zongo itself, but it's quite near to the Kanchenjunga National Park. And the road is also not accessible. I mean, you see the road, but it's basically people don't go use the road. There are a lot of uh, landslides in between, and the roads from uh, nearby village in Lintham or somewhere near to the city can't go to Pentong. So basically, you have to walk for almost 1 or 2 hours to reach the village. So there are like a lot of these landslides on the way. Uh, Basically, this other road, just show you the place. So this is nearby to the village, and the mountain that you see is one of the guardian deity, one of the foot soldiers of Mount Kanchenjunga. Mount Kanchenjunga is behind this mountain. It's not visible from Pentong, Mount Kanchenjunga, but this mountain is visible. So, and there are a lot of surrounding hills nearby to it, and that is also worshipped. So this is one of the uh, trolley, I don't know what to call this. It's used uh, to transport certain rations from one village to the other village because there's no road to it. So this is in a school. There's a small school in the village. So I was just showing them films, and since I was there for some time. So this is Pentong village. So this is like a community ritual that was happening. So the ritual was basically for the protection of the village from bad things to occur from, and not to let bad things come inside the village. So they're asking protection from the nearby mountains and nearby deities. So they cook during the ritual. It's kind of a community affair. And Pendong is also one of the only village where slash and burn is still practiced. Uh, in Sikkim, I think slash and burn is quite not practiced so much anymore. And especially in Zongo, only in Pentong is a village where people still practice slash and burn. That's the village. Trying to record sound. So in this, I was photographing the. Uh, Go back. So I was photographing. I'll show you the picture later. I was trying to photograph a mountain ridge, which was looks like a gate or entry to a certain place. So I was trying to photograph that, and I was trying to photograph this water body. So I'll share the picture later. So this is my editing process. So this is how I edit my photographs. So once I take all the photographs and select. So I've at the end of the day, like I've sequenced certain images just to give a direction for the whole entire project. So which I'll share. So is this is one of the rituals that was happening. There's making bamboo. You can see the video, right? So this is the mountain, two hills that I was trying to photograph. I know it's not so visible in this video. My assist, give me- okay. So this is the video of the Pentong village. It's like this. Also, I mean, the villages are quite not so populated these days. A lot of people are in the cities, and only the old people are kind of there. And like few young kids who are in the school, very young basically. And most of the youth are mostly outside. So the population in also in the village is quite less. And in terms of photographing there, in terms of photographing certain festivals or certain things inside the village, I think it's kind of takes time. They were also telling me that if you can come in October or like during winters, there are a lot of activity which happens and a lot of people come back to the village. Uh, so that was also there. Um, this is one of the ritual which so he's the shaman. Sorry, my videos. Then you can see the altar. It's altar is made and facing the Mount Kanchenjunga, and that's Bongting. We call Bongting, the shaman. Uh, so I've recorded sound. So I was thinking how rather than just using the video, I was thinking of making the using the sound, audio uh, of the sound. This is the close-up of the altar space. This is the we call it pagurik. It's a kind of a flower and used in a lot of rituals. So basically, I'll just show you the photograph that I've shot in like in for uh, time being. We'll just quickly go. This is a ritual that's happening in Tentong village. One of the Bongting is offering prayers. That's the altar space. So uh, eggs are important uh, objects in totem during rituals. It is used to look at future of the village or a future of a person. Uh, so that's prediction they do of the future. There's a like when Lepcha people die, it's believed that people are not reborn, but rather the spirits follow this river. It's called Rongyang River, one of the tributaries of River Tista. They follow the river and they go back to the mountain where they came from. Uh, the first men, Lepcha men and women were born from the fresh snows of Mount Kanchenjunga. So they go back to the place called Romliang, which is a place of eternal life. There's no life and there's no death, basically. There's everlasting life. So the spirits go back to from this river. So I was trying to imagine in a certain way that maybe if I can photograph this through rocks, it looks like a gate to entering towards a mythical place or something like that. But I'm not sure if this visual works. Maybe I need to make it into a different shoot it in a different environment, maybe or maybe during at night with stars around, clear skies, moonlit night. So I'm trying to explore this idea. Uh, so the pond that I was photographing earlier with the torch. So I was trying to imagine. So that I'm trying to make this the photo story, this project into more looking into more into uh, the ideas of myth, otherworld, mystical. Uh, trying to build connection with how the Lepcha people see their place as, where everything is like in an animated landscape. The mountain is regarded as a deity. The pawns are worshipped. So it's kind of there's a element of uh, giving life to that actual life to the surroundings, right? So I'm trying to imagine in that way, uh, look in that way. So trying to photograph places like that. So because earlier when I showed in our last meeting when I showed you the photographs, which is mostly photograph of the flood, which is more of a direct interpretation of what happened during the flood. It was more of destruction, uh, buildings being shattered, sludge being covered with trucks being destroyed, everything. So it was more of a direct representation of the flood. But in here, I'm trying to not speak say too direct, maybe indirectly. Also, yeah. So trying to create those kind of images. So even this photograph of the mountain, which is worshipped. So this is like a slash and burn practice happening, but I also didn't want to include people in it. I just wanted to photograph the smoke and what was left afterwards, after the slash and burn, just to give the feeling of uh, eeriness. Or smoke can have a different meaning in visually, right? So trying to see in that way. Um, Bentong village is also very accessible wise. It's not very difficult for people there. Like the electricity, it's very unpredictable. When I was there was hardly any power. Uh, it was like very erratic, coming for 1 or 2 hours. So network is also not good. You don't get network because there is no road. There's also no cars or bikes. I think only one car and bike is there. So this is one of the jeeps which has been stranded there for a long time, uh, and it's not been used because there's no need for vehicle. So slash and burn. So I also met Tenzin Gatso Tongden. He's one of the activists of Safety movement, current crop of activists. So who's leading the movement right as of now. So I also met him. I took a portrait of him, uh, and I had done an interview also with him, with some data. So he's also one of the activists. He's one of the shamans in the village in Pangtong. There's a portrait of him inside a house. Yeah, so more than direct representation of the project, I was trying to more work in metaphors, based on feelings. How do you create that kind of feeling in the images in the series? So that's the only bike in the village. They're trying to start the bike, but they couldn't. That's the map of the Mount Kanjanga National Park. So I think if you go closer, you'll see the proper map. So the Pentong is here, the village I was here, and from here it's all mountainous region, uh, from Mount Narsing. and the flood that happened, the Lona Glacier Lake, which came down, was this from here, South Lona Glacier. So this was the glacier which burst and came all the way from here till somewhere here from Mangan. So, so one of there were engineers who had come to measure the road, and people were also like, quite skeptical about why these people here. They're still helping them, but because it was almost like three times over a period of almost 10 to 12 years that they had come to measure the road, but the road still hasn't been repaired or been properly done. So, so this is in Lincoln photographing. There's a stainless beehive, and there's a road to Pentong. I'm quickly going through all this with a lot of images. Yeah. So, mm, yeah. Uh, is it, yeah. So, my overall images from before the project I was doing, before the project that I pitched to Fika, and by the time I was shooting during the whole project, so I've gathered all the photographs and I tried to edit in a way which I can take direction or could be working for an exhibition or a book or something like that. So this is a small sequence that I made according to what I was thinking for the project. Uh, So this is just an idea that I was working for the exhibition. And just playing around with the layout, uh, different background, and so with the photographs, I was also thinking of since I'm not using any most of the photographs from the flood, and also I've been trying to collect archival materials from the 2007 protest, maybe screenshot of some videos or something which I like, and try to play around with uh, and make it into a zine or something like that. So something like this, I was trying to work upon it. And it's just like few images as of now. So something like this. These are not my photographs. These are photographs found on internet. Uh, some of these are from screenshotted from some videos in YouTube or something like that, and also put images of what I've taken photographs of, during the flood, which I'm not using for the my main series. But this can come in a zine. Basically, the zine can act as a direct representation of the ACT movement, which is a very important part in this region, and also the flood. So it can also act as an act of and also act as a mode of activism, the zine, and people can uh, take it back, from the exhibition. So the zine could be something like a A3 size on a newspaper or something like that, some kind of sort of like that, mostly in black and white images, to give a feel of newspaper or something like that. Yeah, yeah. So besides that, I've also done some audio, uh, like for mm, so I've recorded a song.
Hmm.
It's called Beloved Romeo. Romeo is also Rivatista, and also yeah, it's Rivatista basically. Lepcha wood. So
Ceta tolamagan Rumyawanam Kenan Diyogam Barumbu Oh Siram Rumbu Oh Siram Rumbu Oh Siram.
so basically, the song is about. So it's translates to beloved Romeo. You must have reached there by now. Like usual, you might have to wait for me even today. I might be late because they are not letting me go. It seems like all my routes has been blocked. Beloved Romeo, you must have reached there by now. Like usual, you might have to wait for me even today. So, so in this song, he talks about indirectly about the Hyderabad project, which has been blocking the Batista. But he's also trying to. This song is also uh, kind of related to the folk narrative about the great mythical deluge that happened in Sikkim many moons ago. Uh, so it's about how Batista and Rangit tried to. They were two lovers, and they wanted to meet at a certain point at the foothills of Mailyang, basically, which is land of the Lepchas. But one of them got late, and one of them got early, and the person, the one who got late, the male, it was a male, so he got angry because he got late, and he went back, creating this huge mythical deluge which happened. So it's trying to build this narrative between this folk narrative and the current ecological crisis which happening with the flood and the hydropower project. So basically, the song is about that. So I was thinking maybe I can, if not video, I can also use text, something like that. Um, and also, I've recorded sound of the bong thing, which was uh, praying to the deities. So I was thinking maybe I can use this audio and the protest audios together and make a one audio for the project. Since the ritual is about praying to the natural surroundings, the deities, the mountain, and also the protest is about protection of the land, kind of juxtaposing two of them. So kind of thinking like that. Yeah, it's a long thing. So I just yeah. So that's it for now.
So thank you, Kunga.
Mm.
Maybe just to add to what Kunga has shared with us already, he is also intending to do a local program in sometime in August there in Sikkim
Mm.
itself, Gangtok, um, along with organizing a talk, inviting activists. He'll also be showing, displaying some of the photographs that he has been taking. Yeah.
Yeah, and August, the reason I'm doing in August is August 8th particularly is because there's a festival called Tendang Lorong Fat, which basically is the story about uh, the great mythical deluge which happened in Maya. So it's about that, and it's about praying to the mountain. So I thought it would be nice to do the exhibition since it's quite related to the project. So yeah.
Mary, did you want to say something? Okay. We don't have any comments, questions.
No, I think, I don't know if Costa or anyone else wanted to share. For me, it's really wonderful to see the project, and I think it's taken a very good shape. And yeah, like we were just discussing whether the space of the local programming exhibition can also be used to, like you're talking about the zine also being crowdsourced images. Perhaps that can be something which can be opened up also as an activity. I don't know if that works, because there will be a lot of people from different um, who know the context, young, old, of course, people who are coming in. So that could be an interesting kind of exercise, to think around the zine making, maybe the idea of our collective sourcing, crowdsourcing, or inviting people to bring images. It can remain in an exercise level as well, and the
Mm.
exhibition can also have that kind of shape, like, or a section of the exhibition apart from, of course, the beautiful images. So just that would be quite interesting.
Okay.
Costa, is